Welcome back, 6th grade. Today we're looking at a video for lesson 96. We're going to be talking about functions and about graphing functions, okay? So you guys have been doing functions, you just didn't know that you were doing functions, okay? So make sure to get this rule or this definition in your notes, okay? A function is a rule for using one number, we'll call that the input number, to calculate another number, and that we'll call the output number, okay? So I've got a great example for us to use to talk about functions. So let's think about if we have a square, how we would find the perimeter of the square. Okay, we've done this before. If my square is 5 centimeters on each side, to find the perimeter, I know that I can do the length of the side times 4, and that'll give me the perimeter, okay? So if the sides measure 5 centimeters, 5 times 4 gives me 20 centimeters for my perimeter, okay? This is a function, okay? S is my input. The length of the side is what I put into my equation. When I multiply it times 4, I get the output, okay? So in this instance, with a square and trying to find the perimeter of the square, the input is the length of the side. We use the length of the side times 4 to get our output, which is our perimeter, okay? Now this is called a function table. This is when we have values for the inputs. We put them into our equation to find out our outputs, okay? So if the length of the sides of a square are equal to 1, that's my S for my input, the length of the side for S. If the sides measure 1, 1 times 4 is 4, so my perimeter would be 4, and these are all in centimeters, okay? If the length of the sides measure 2, I put 2 in for S. 2 times 4 is equal to 8 for my output, and so on. 3, if the sides measure 3, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 centimeters would be my perimeter. If the sides measure 4, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 centimeters would be my perimeter. Okay, so you guys have been doing functions, we just haven't called them that yet. So when you have a function, you have an input number, you go ahead and make your calculations to get your output number. Okay, so input, output. Now with this information, we can actually graph it, okay, because our input and our output become coordinate pairs. Okay, does that look familiar? 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, 4, 16. Okay, so typically we think about our input number as on our x-axis usually, and our output number on the y-axis. Okay, so here's my equation, my function. Perimeter is equal 4 times the length of the side. This is about a square. Okay, so if my side measures 1, the perimeter is 4. If my side measures 2, perimeter is 8. If my side measures 3, perimeter is 12. If my side measured 4, perimeter was 16. Okay, so I can take my input and output numbers and form them into coordinate pairs. Okay, so now from this equation, from this function, I was able to make a function table and a graph of the function. Okay, we can also have a function table that goes long ways instead of up and down ways, okay? Now on this one I don't have an equation, but I have input and output. My input is x. So whatever I assign for x to get my output, I'm going to put that value in for x here and work it out to see what my output is, okay? So this says my input is 2. That means I'm going to have x equal to 2. So down here, x is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. So my output would be 3. If x is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, minus 1 is 9. If x is 6, go ahead and do it in your head to get my output. 6 times 2 is 12, minus 1 is 11. One more. If 9 is my input. What is my output going to be? Go ahead and put it in. 9 times 2 is 18, minus 1 is 17. Okay? Okay. Now, on this one, it doesn't even tell me what's happening with our input to get our output. Well, I got to decide what's happening. So I need to look at the ones they give me. They give me 3 x and y values. So I need to look at them and decide what's happening to get from our input to our output. Okay, from 2 to 4. It could be times 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. So let me see if that works here. Is 3 times 2 5? No, so it's not times 2. So I tried times 2 and that wasn't it. That wasn't it. How else do I get from 2 to 4? Well, I could add 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Let's see if that works. 3 plus 2, does that give me 5? Yes, so it checks on that one. 7 plus 2, does that give me 9? Yes, checks on that one. So our function here is we're taking our input and adding 2 to get our output. So what about our missing numbers here? If x is 8, and I'm going to add 2 to get y, then y would be, 10. If x is 11 and I'm adding 2 to get my output, then y would be 13. Okay? So sometimes we are given the function rule. Sometimes we are given a function table, okay, with missing numbers. Sometimes we are given what to do to x to get y, what to do to our input to get the output, and sometimes we got to figure out how to get from our input to our output. Okay? Go ahead and turn to page 501, A, B, C, D, E on your practice set. Pause your video, go ahead and do A through E in your notebook, and then start it back up again and check your work. Okay, A. You should have gotten 8 for the missing number. On those, you are subtracting 2 every time. Okay, 5 or 3 minus 2 gives you 1. 5 minus 2 gives you 3. 6 minus 2 gives you 4. So 10 minus 2 gives you 8 for A. On B, we have the input that's missing. Okay, so to get from input to output, they're adding 5 every time. Okay, they have 3, they add 5 to get 8. 5, they add 5 to get 10. 7, they add 5 to get 12. We don't know what the last number is, but they added 5 and got 15. So it must have been 10, because 10 plus 5 gives us 15. On C, our input is x, our output is 3x plus 1. So on the first set of pairs, they had 3 for x, so I put 3 in for x. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. On the next one, 6 is x. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Last one, 8 is x. I put 8 down in for x on the output. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Okay? D. They give us x and 3x minus 1 for our input and output. So when x is 3, in the output, 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 is 8. When x is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, minus 1 is 11. You should have put in the missing number. The last one there, 7. 7 times 3 is 21, minus 1 is 20. Okay? And then E, they wanted us to make our own function table to show that every quart weighed 2 pounds. Okay, so I said every quart weighed 2 pounds. If I had 1 quart, it weighed 2 pounds. If I had 2 quarts, it weighed 4 pounds. If I had 3 quarts, it weighed 6 pounds. If I had 4 quarts, it weighed 8 pounds. Okay, so your function table should look like this. And then they wanted us to graph it. 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8. Okay, I put quarts here, pounds here, and then I graphed my coordinate pairs. Okay? Okay. You guys have really been doing all this. We just haven't called it functions. Okay? But now you know. Welcome to functions. Hope you guys have a great day. And if you still have questions on this, send me an email with a phone number so I can call you. Okay? Okay, guys. Have a great day. Bye.